Hi, we're back, and yeah, I just show in the middle of the city here a photo I took. I think this is the most one of the most beautiful buildings in Ho Chi Minh. It is the Reunification Palace or the City Hall. Yeah, it's in the middle of District 1. That's not what I'm going to talk about today. We're just going to use it as a background to look at basically. What I'm going to talk about today is I see all these videos on YouTube. You can live in Vietnam for $1,000, $1,200. You can live in Thailand for $800 and so on. And I'm just gonna say yes and no. Yeah, it's possible. I'm gonna say that it is possible. So if you go to Vietnam or Thailand, you are alone, no girlfriend, no kids, and you rent like a room or you rent a tiny studio apartment, not in the most expensive areas in the city. Yeah, you can live comfortable on that. But that said, you cannot go and order McDonald's and pizza every day either, because that is foreign food and it costs three, four times as much as Vietnamese food. And the other thing is, if you go party and try to get a girlfriend or whatever, you go and drink and you go to the bar and nightclubs, that gonna set you back on money as well. And then maybe $1,000 or $1,200 a month isn't enough, because it depends really on your spending. If you are like a couple, if you have children, you want to put them in international school, you want to live in a little better place, I can just say straight away, $1,200 it not gonna last you 2 weeks. The school alone will cost between $700 to $3,000. That's just for one kid in international schools. Then you need a rent, and with children you tend to rent a little better places and an apartment, not a studio or a room. So you're gonna suddenly pay more or less $1,300 a month just for the rent, and then you have to pay the management fees. You have to pay taxis or get a motorbike and gas, and you have to pay the phone, and you have to pay the food and the school for the kids. And so yeah, it really depends on your situation and what you want and so on. And I'm gonna say it a little raw. If I mean, Vietnamese people, they are locals, they eat Vietnamese food, they don't flash around here and there, they don't take taxi, they ride motorbikes themselves, and if they don't do that, they take motorbike taxi, because that is cheaper than a taxi car. The Vietnamese know how to save money, they are not stupid. But as a foreigner, we think different. We are used to different culture, different things. So I'm gonna just say this: $1,000 or $1,200 in a month, it go really fast for many, and for some it's okay. So sorry, I almost lost my phone. Yeah, so for some it's okay, and for others, yeah, it not gonna work at all. And that is the truth. If you're planning on like, oh, I'm gonna go to Vietnam, I'm gonna live in a luxury apartment, I'm gonna live in District 2 or District 7, the expat district, you $1,000 a month, no, you're not gonna make it, sorry. So you need to understand, and it's a little the same. I'm not gonna say exact same, but there are similarities to Thailand, Philippines, and so on in Southeast Asia. it is countries where you can live very cheap. It is possible if you live like the locals. You could even on $1,000 you could even save money. The locals can. So it is possible, but compared to the lifestyle we live, I would say then you live like a rat, and that's you don't have the luxury, you don't have international school, you don't have a brand new motorbike, you cannot order McDonald's, KFC and pizzas and stuff, Domino's every day. You have to order Vietnamese food. You have to spend like 20 to 40,000 dong per meal. You need to maybe not buy bottles of water every day, but rather find a like a solution where you live to make the water cheaper and so on. So there are many ways to save money, and so yeah, I'm gonna say it is possible to live okay on $1,200 if you are alone with no children. If you have children, need to put them in school and buy food for them and take them around and yourself and this and that, then it's gone. Then $1,000 is, I don't know. I mean, it's hard. That's all I can say. It's really hard. If you have 2 kids, it's even harder. So if you have a wife, I would say, if you live like that and you're gonna crush the numbers and economy that much, I would say, why the hell go to Southeast Asia? Then you stay home. Because if you're gonna go to Southeast Asia and you're gonna live like a rat, then isn't it better to just stay in the country where you're from? So I say, if you are a single guy or a single girl, you rent a room, you rent a studio apartment, it is possible to live off $1,000 to $1,200 a month. You have to live in a room which is outside the luxury areas and so on, and some can even share a room or apartment. That is, some do that as well. So then you need to share maybe a 3-bedroom apartment, 2-bedroom apartment with some stranger you don't know, and to just to make it cheaper. And that some do. If they make it on 1,000, 1,200 a month, I'm not sure, because that again depends on how long they stay there. If they go well with the person they share the apartment with. Some, they stay there for 2 months and say, I cannot handle that person, and then they move out. So you never know, and that's why I say it is possible. I say yes and I say no. There isn't any, yeah, come to Vietnam and you can live here for $1,000 a month. No, it's not that easy. It's much more complicated than that. If you take a lot of taxes, that it seems like it doesn't cost anything, but in the end of the month, if you rack it up and add it all together, you see, oh, the taxes actually cost a bit. You order KFC and say, okay, I only do 2 times a week. Yeah, it sounds okay and everything. Rack it up in the end of the month, and then you see, oh crap, that was actually it come to a certain amount as well. So you need to think of that. If you're gonna live like that, you need to basically say, I can go to the bar 1 time a month. If I do that, then it's less KFC, less McDonald's, less Domino's Pizza, Pizza Hut, or whatever. It's Vietnamese food, noodles, and so on. I need to live in a room, tiny room. You only have the room and the bathroom. You don't have anything else. No facilities, no swimming pool, and so on. And yeah, so it is possible. It is, but if you want a better lifestyle, a better quality, you are looking at way more. We are a family, and we spend we spend way more. We could not manage on $1,000 or $1,200 a month. No way, no chance, no chance. So yeah. But yeah, $2,000 to $3,000 a month. Yeah, that is. Then you can live a luxury and comfortable life. Because you need to understand that if you want a luxury apartment, let's say a 2-bedroom luxury apartment, maybe 3 in some areas, depends on where you are, that could set you back $1,000 alone. That's just the rent, and then you need to add on utilities for the management fee and parking fee for the motorbike, taxis you take, and then the food, the electric bill. So you need to add on all these things, and then if you buy something, if you go out to the bar or something, everything you need to add. So you see, if you live in rent a luxury apartment, that could easily be $1,000 or more. Some even want to rent big apartments, like 160 square meter, something like that. Then you're looking at $1,300-400 a month, 1,300-ish, I think, a month for an apartment like that. So that's just a rent, and then you have the management fees, electric bill, and so on top of that. So yeah, I mean, $1,200 even in Southeast Asia is not, you're not rich, so relax. It is possible, but remember, it really depends on your lifestyle, your situation, and so on. But if you come to Southeast Asia trying only to live cheap, then I think you're better off at home, no matter what country you go to in Southeast Asia. Either you need enough money to be able to live here. If not, you basically should stay home. And like I said, it is possible to live on $1,000, $1,200. Many Vietnamese and local Vietnamese do it, but they are not expats, Westerners, and they are not used to, they don't eat that much Western food, and Western food costs way more than the Vietnamese food. And they also take the motorbikes themselves. They don't take taxis that much, and I see many of the foreigners take taxis, and that also get a huge post on the budget. So they do live different because they are used to it, and we do different because we are from Western countries. It's just that simple. So yes, it is possible to live very scrouchy in a way on $1,000 a month, and if you want to live comfortable and luxury, you need to understand it costs way more. So yeah, everything is possible. And again, this is the Reunification Palace in District 1 in Ho Chi Minh City, one of the most beautiful buildings there. So we've been looking at while I've been talking. So that's the video for today. So remember to subscribe and like, and again, I mean, $1,000, $1,200 is not going to take you very far in Southeast Asia. It's just a fact. That's how it is. Yes, it's possible to live on it. It is possible, but it's not gonna give you a very fancy lifestyle. Rather a pretty scrouchy lifestyle, I would say. But it is possible. So yeah, these videos, remember, many make videos to make a headline, get views, and so on, instead of telling the truth. But now I see some in Thailand make videos like this as well, and the truth is coming out. There are some like me that just like, we don't want to do that bullshit and fool people. We just say the truth. It is possible, but it's a little scrouching lifestyle if you do like that. So yeah, It's better to have a little more money, or if you can't do that, simply stay home. Sometimes it's better to put the finger in the ground and say, I really cannot afford to move out. I can really not afford to go on a holiday. Simple as that. Then it's better to stay home. If you have the money, then you can go. And that's the end of it for today. Bye bye, and have a great day.